I'm really excited to spend the day gardening with you. We're going to be planting some sun patience in the book nook, begonias in the main flower walk, and setting up the flower stand together. But I thought we would start here in the driveway garden so I could give you a little tour of how things are looking. It's currently June 1st, and it's cold enough for me to be wearing a winter coat this morning. Isn't that crazy? But let's take a look at what's blooming in the driveway garden. Down here we have the always beautiful Orlea grandiflora. I love the white lacy flowers of Orlea. Running all throughout this garden, I have two different kinds of catmint. One I got from a neighbor, just a small clump when we first moved here, and I've spread it all throughout the garden. And then I do have another lower growing clump, which I got from Jung Seed a few years ago. I think we planted that in a video together. We have lots of pink lilies in this garden, so we'll have a beautiful pink show in about a month's time. And when those lilies are blooming, the feverfew should be in bloom too. There are 5 different kinds of alliums in this garden. First up, we have Gladiator, which has already started to go to seed. The light purple one that you see is Pinball Wizard. I really like the height of Pinball Wizard. I would say it's about 2 feet tall, and the foliage dies back nicely on that particular variety. Down here we have Schubertii, which is a very short allium with a big head. It looks just like a firework, and it has lovely pinky purple blooms. So I have a few of those in the front of the border. And I'm going to stand over there so I can show you the view from inside this driveway keyhole garden to the covered porch, where I put in some new furniture from Lowe's that I'm really excited about. Let me see if I can actually step through the garden this way without stepping on any lilies. I should point out how beautiful the Kusa dogwood looks this morning. It's just covered in glorious white blooms. We have 2 of these in the garden, one in the back as well. Down here we have another beautiful short allium called Schubertii. There's so many great alliums, and I love them all so much. This is a nice view from inside the gravel keyhole area to the porch. We had our porch redone this year because all the wood was rotting away. It rains a lot in our area, so most of my furniture in the garden doesn't have cushions. But I thought it would be nice to get some furniture from Lowe's that did have cushions and put them on the covered porch so we could enjoy a more comfortable seat in the morning with our coffee. I didn't know which ones to purchase. There were so many to choose. So I just took a look at the reviews and found the one that everyone was saying in the comments section was easy to put together. And I ordered those, and they were really easy to put together. I think I got them completed maybe in about 15 minutes. And so here's the view from the covered porch. Here's what you would see if you were having your morning coffee. I would love to put gravel down in the driveway at some point. I'm not sure what that would entail or how destructive it would be. The instant boxwood hedge is looking amazing. I did go ahead and trim it for the first time ever. Really beautiful. I just trimmed it with hand trimmers. So there's our driveway garden update. Let me take you backwards for a look at the hydrangea room, and then we'll bring Grace out here and we'll get to work on planting for the day. Let's see if I can walk all the way backwards into the backyard. Do you think I can do it? I feel like the hydrangea has some holes that we could probably take care of. Perhaps we could add a little more penstemon. You can see some penstemon right here. We could add some penstemon right here, but actually maybe not. It might be a little too shady there. Maybe a little bit more astilbe. But I don't want to introduce any new plant varieties into this garden. I just want to repeat things that I already have. There are some beautiful Martagon lilies in this garden. Martagon lilies have a fabulous fragrance. Their blooms point downward, and they're just so delicate. Absolutely beautiful. Here's a look at the Kusa dogwood in the backyard. It's just glowing this morning. This is definitely one of the most beautiful trees I've ever seen. The white flowers are followed by edible berries. So you really get, I would say, 4 seasons of interest, because as the Kusa dogwood ages, the bark starts to flake. So it's just really stunning no matter what time of year it is. Let me show you these lilies. It's currently June 1st, but the last week of May, these corsage lilies started to bloom. This is an Asiatic lily, but instead of just having a couple flower heads on the top that point upward, these have multiple small blooms that point forward. And let me put my hand up because I didn't know they were this small in the picture, but I would say half the size of my hand, maybe about 6 to 8 stems, or excuse me, 6 to 8 flowers per stem. Now there's no fragrance on Asiatic lilies, but if you like the look of a Martagon lily but don't like how their blooms face downward, this corsage Asiatic lily might be a good option. But it doesn't have any fragrance, so if you like fragrance, stick with the Martagon lily. Just gorgeous, isn't it? I'm gonna head inside and grab Grace so she can enjoy some time out in the garden with us today. I need to keep her nice and calm as her ACL heals, or excuse me, I think it's actually called a CCL on a dog. Thank you so much for sharing that information with me. But because I need to keep her nice and calm, I think I'm just going to keep the natural audio for this video. So the first thing we're going to do is plant some beautiful peach begonias in the main flower walk. Then we're going to go ahead and cut back the daffodil foliage in the book nook and plant some white sun patience. And then we also need to set up the flower stand because it's the weekend. After we're done with all that, I'll give you a full tour. We ended up planting 19 gorgeous peach begonias in the main flower walk and 3 flats of sun patience over in the book nook. I really want the book nook to glow in the evening, so that's why I decided to go with all white flowers in that area. In the main flower walk right now in very early June, we have this beautiful show of light orange, peach, purple with just a hint of white, and I really love that color palette. Some of the calla lilies that we planted only a month ago have already started to bloom, and also the tecolote salmon ranunculus have started to bloom, and they are just phenomenal. And here's a look at those calla lilies. I just can't believe how quickly they all bloomed. We've got some pinball wizard alliums in this area. The totally tangerine geums are just starting to go over. And I think looking at this area, I would like to add in a little bit more penstemon to this garden and to the hydrangea room. I think that would be really lovely. But this mix of purple and peach is really making my heart sing. More ranunculus here still yet to bloom. And so let me take you in and around the book nook. And we'll have to do a nighttime garden tour again this year, maybe in about a month or two, once everything really starts to fill in and once the incredible hydrangeas are white. Actually, you can't really see the sun patience very well from this area. Let me turn us around and I'll walk backwards. I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better this way. A lot of the shrubs have started to push out their bloom stalks. You can see the oak leaf hydrangea right there. Annabelle hydrangea. It looks like I left my gardening gloves on the bench. But if I take us back this way, you'll be able to get a sense of being in the book nook, I hope. And as soon as we're done here, we're going to set up the flower stand with just peonies today. But here's a look from inside the book nook. 3 sun patience in between each incredible hydrangea. And I did add in some new lanterns from Hoselink and some new solar lights around this area. Because really, in regards to the book nook, well, we spend a lot of time in the book nook, no matter what time of day it is. We like to lay out here and lounge in the sun, but we also hang out a lot here in the evening. So in terms of having a moon garden, I really wanted to place the moon garden where we would be sitting in the evening. So we'll definitely do an evening garden tour so you can really see what the book nook looks like at night, and maybe I'll light a fire too. But we're running out of time to set up the flower stand, so I'm going to quickly go ahead and grab some mason jars and we're going to get set up for the day.